Out of the border after a drug cartel leader was killed in Mexico yesterday. We'll hear from people crossing into the U.S. today about what it was like there.
San Diego leaders discussing the budget ahead of the 2027 fiscal year.
Coast to coast chaos, a winter storm back east grounds flights impacting San Diego travelers.
We have an early look at the bloom here at the Carlsbad flower fields.
From being dumped out onto the side of the roads to now being restored and finding new homes. Meet the San Diego furniture flipper.
Lego Galaxy is blasting off. Meet the local explorers who have been along on a secret mission for months.
News 8 live at 6 starts right now. People living in Tijuana say things are slowly getting back to normal today. The killing of a cartel leader in Puerto Vallarta yesterday led to violence in the streets and a warning for Americans in Mexico to shelter in place. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. Despite that warning, the border remained open today and some people crossed into the U.S. from Mexico. News 8's Steve Price has been down there all day and joins us live. And Steve, you had a chance to speak with several people who made the choice to leave their homes.
I'll tell you, Anna, a big mix of emotions as you talk to people. Some people sad about all the violence, others pleased to know that the government is being aggressive going after these cartel leaders. Now, here at the Ped West border crossing, definitely a lot quieter than you would normally see on a Monday. That's because a lot of people are still too scared to leave their homes, but others told me they did feel it was calm enough today to go ahead and go outside. Chaos in the streets of Mexico Sunday after the army there killed a major drug cartel leader. Most of the destruction in and around Puerto Vallarta, but it quickly spread, touching Tijuana, where cars were set on fire.
They burned a couple cars. There were some supermarkets that they kind of lit up, but they didn't completely get burned down. People were able to extinguish it.
Giovanna Lizarraga lives in Tijuana but works in the U.S. She's one of several people we talked with Monday afternoon at the Ped West border crossing who says things seemed calmer today but are still far from normal.
There's definitely tension. There's cops all over the place. A heightened presence of military as well. U.S.
officials are warning Americans around Puerto Vallarta to shelter in place. The airport shut down, but expected to reopen tomorrow, assuming you can get there.
That does not take into consideration whether or not roads will even be open.
In Tijuana, things are a lot calmer, but schools are still closed for the day.
We're going to have a nice day right here, safe, not in Tijuana.
Miriam Corrette says her kids were going stir crazy at home, so they crossed the border to do some shopping.
My kids wanted to go to visit their friends, and oh no, we can't do that. So we stay home, and right now it was boring because the classes was off, and it was like, okay, let's go to a safe place here.
The cartel leader killed, nicknamed El Mencho, had a $15 million bounty on his head. The U.S. Justice Department says he belonged to one of Mexico's most violent drug trafficking organizations that has been terrorizing people on both sides of the border for more than a decade.
Something it had to be done sooner or later, and there's a price to pay.
I also checked to see how things were going in Puerto Vallarta today. And Carlo and Anna, really weird mixed bag down there. A lot of tourists went ahead and went out today, kind of business as usual. That said, there were still a couple of killings on the streets in that area, so definitely need to be careful down there. But here in Tijuana, at least it looks for now like things are calming down. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, I know some people that are supposed to go down to Mexico later on this week. They're watching the news to see if this settles by then.
Yeah, they are not alone. A lot of people really concerned about what's happening. We have some friends who are doing a destination wedding in Mexico. They are nervous as well.
Yeah, what a time. There's a lot of connection between us and them. Steve Price, thanks for that report.
The man convicted of killing 2 students and injuring 13 others at Santana High School almost 25 years ago will stay behind bars for now. Andy Williams was just 15 when he opened fire at the school. His attorney argues new state laws for juvenile offenders should make Williams eligible for release, but a judge disagreed today, so Williams will stay in custody as he awaits a resentencing under that new state law. Williams' lawyer says she may push to have him moved from state prison to a county jail as this legal fight continues. Nick Reiner pleaded not guilty today in connection with the murders of his parents, director Rob Reiner and wife Michelle. Nick appeared in brown prison garb behind a clear partition in a Los Angeles courtroom today, speaking only to answer a judge's question. Prosecutors have not yet decided if they will seek the death penalty in this case. Nick Reiner is being held without bail and is due back in court in April, when we could learn if there's enough evidence to go to trial.
More than 31,000 unionized nurses and healthcare professionals at Kaiser Permanente facilities in California and Hawaii will return to work tomorrow. They've been on strike for about 4 weeks. Union officials said in a statement there has been significant movement at the bargaining table on a new contract over the past 48 hours. The strike will end at 7 tomorrow morning. Right now, San Diego City leaders are holding the first in a series of meetings to set budget priorities ahead of the new fiscal year in July.
Council members say they will focus on cuts instead of new fees for residents. News 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from City Hall, where the meeting is just getting underway. Steffi.
Well, tonight is an opportunity for the public to stay engaged ahead of April 15th. That's when Mayor Todd Gloria will publish his proposed budget for the 2027 fiscal year. Now, a city council spokesperson tells me the city is projecting a $110 to $120 approximate $1 million deficit for next year. But city leaders are working to prepare a balanced budget for the coming year. In a press release shared today, Mayor Todd Gloria stated in part, quote, "The next budget will require tough choices, and we will not be able to do everything we like. My commitment is that we will manage this shortfall and keep our books balanced by making thoughtful, legally sound decisions that protect the city's long-term stability for all of us." Now, the meeting tonight will likely include department directors presenting proposed department budget requests and reductions to the mayor and the city's executive management teams, and presentations and updates on revenue projections. Plus, San Diego police are also expected to discuss overtime and their budget at this meeting. But the goal of the hearing is also meant for the city leaders to hear public input. And there's going to be another meeting just like this held on March 10th. That'll be here in the council chambers at 6 o'clock that day on March 10th. But we're going to have more on this tonight at 10 on the CW and at 11 on CBS. But for now, reporting live from City Hall, I'm Steffi Roche, News 8.
All right, Steffi, thank you. Right now, historic blizzard conditions are slamming the Northeast, bringing some major cities to a standstill. Providence, Rhode Island set an all-time snowstorm record with almost 3 feet of snow, while Atlantic City, New Jersey got more than a foot. Places like Babylon on New York's Long Island are also seeing record accumulations with at least 30 inches. This nor'easter is now one of the 10 biggest storms in New York City history.
We are plowing streets and doing everything we can to keep our roadways clear so that emergency vehicles can get through. These are dangerous conditions.
And at the height of the storm, look, this is how people got around on skis and even stepped out in snowshoes. And it's not just travelers back east dealing with the snow.
That massive storm system is creating a domino effect at airports all across the country, including here at home. News 8's Brian White has the details.
Yeah, that's right. The winter storms back east are creating a ripple effect being felt right here at San Diego International. Travelers dealing with delays, cancellations, and a lot of uncertainty tonight. As a powerful winter storm barrels through the Northeast, the impact is stretching coast to coast. At San Diego International, 43 flights were delayed and 34 canceled as of this afternoon, according to FlightAware. Nationwide, more than 5,600 flights were canceled, with thousands more delayed. For some travelers, it's a waiting game.
Sometimes when they have problems in major centers like the Northeast, that it ripples throughout the system. So far, I'm being told that my flight is on time, but you know, these things change very quickly.
Mark Chalos is heading to Nashville and says he's already received alerts from his airline warning his plans could change.
Air travel is so important to business. It's so important to families. It's very disruptive to have an unpredictable air travel system.
And it's not just the weather creating concern. With the partial government shutdown, the Department of Homeland Security has suspended the Global Entry Program, which allows pre-approved travelers expedited entry into the U.S. TSA PreCheck, however, remains in place.
It's tough for all of us, especially, we're out traveling, trying to see our family, trying to get out and get around. Slows things down, makes it a lot more difficult to get around.
And adding yet another layer of disruptions, some flights from Puerto Vallarta into San Diego were also canceled as cartel-related violence in parts of Mexico prompted safety concerns. For Debbie and Eric Roberts, who split time between Massachusetts and Florida, the storms back east are personal.
We live in Massachusetts. And we winter in Florida, so our daughters and everybody's snowed in, but they're having a great time. They love it.
Even so, many travelers say they're staying flexible and keeping a close eye on their flight status. Airport officials recommend checking directly with your airlines before heading to the airport as conditions on the East Coast continue to change. I'm Brian White, CBS 8.
It always helps if you like where you're stuck.
Well, especially and if you have family to stay with while you're stuck.
That's
and
right.
They enjoy having you around.
That's right. Your daughter's here. She's stuck.
The state Democratic convention wraps without any endorsement for any candidate running for governor.
Yeah, we've got those details still ahead, plus a warning tonight as new video shows a family getting kicked off a beach for harassing a sea lion.
But first, a sneak peek at what you can expect as one of Carlsbad's biggest attractions get ready to open its gates.
And the temperatures will be helping out with those flower fields in Carlsbad this week. I'm meteorologist Sean Stiles. A warming trend is heading our way.